Hello and welcome to this review of the Star Wars Exposition, Star Wars Identities. Where I live, it's almost over, but I thought let's make a review because it's a touring exposition. So next it will go to Brussels, and after that it will go to other cities that haven't been announced yet. So I think people will still have something of use of this review. So yeah, that's why I'm reviewing it. So Star Wars Identities is exactly what you think it is. It's a Star Wars exposition and it has over 200 different original items that were used in the movies. And not only the original trilogy, but also in the prequels and even some stuff of Star Wars, the Clone Wars. And that's pretty much it. So I will first go into the things that I really liked. First off, it's just great to see all these items that you know very well from the movies in real life. And what had me very interested as well was to see how much detail is actually put into those, because you always see that movie props, if you see them up close, they aren't looking nearly as good as they seem to look on screen. But here it was very cool to see that no, the actual items have a lot of detail. And I didn't expect that. And there were also some other cool stuff that you could see there. For example, the slave Leia bra, which you always think is brown, is actually white. So I think that's for on-screen use, that the lighting that they use or the post effects that it changed the lighting and that they wanted to go for a different color, or maybe they wanted it to be white. But that's just something that I never knew, and stuff like that is really cool to see. And also there's a lot to see, at least if you take your time and look at everything that there is. Also the stuff that's from the prequels that maybe some people don't find as interesting. But for me, what was the most special thing there, which I didn't expect before seeing it, was the artwork. Just some of it looked like paintings, especially an example where you have Luke looking at the sky, and also the storyboards. Just behind the scenes stuff is fun to see, but that's where the positives run out already. The negatives is just, yeah, those artwork things are a little bit behind the scenes, but there isn't any real behind the scenes material. It's mostly just, here's a picture, and there's only like 5 lines max of information with each piece. So I would have liked it to be like more of a museum and have lots of information with everything. And that's also what was disappointing about the audio tour, because when you start the actual exposition, you get an infrared wristband that you use for interactive stuff. I go more into that later. But you also get an audio tour, and it's an audio tour that also works with infrared. It's made by Sennheiser, so I think it's also used in other musea. But it's a little thing that you hang around your neck, and it makes a connection with every piece, because above the piece is a sensor that sends out the audio to the different receivers. Didn't work flawlessly. The connection mostly had lots of noise, so I just started to pick up the little machine and just aimed it at the sensor so it would sound better. But what was disappointing about that audio tour was you didn't hear from Kathleen Kennedy or Mark Hamill or just any one of the Star Wars licenses. It was just a narrator and that's it. And there wasn't that much information. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. Also, you have lots of the original trilogy, a little bit of the prequels, and The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens is mostly replicas. And from the original stuff, everything is original except for Yoda. Yoda is also a replica, but I think made by the same people. But then you also have stuff like the Clone Wars, which is literally a storyboard, a painting, and 2 sculptures that they made to look how the light would fall on the different characters so they could use it in animation. And that's it. So I think if they wanted to show stuff like that, just differ from the original trilogy and the prequels, then show more. It's just weird to have only a couple of items and that's it. It didn't really mesh well with the rest of the exhibition. And also, this exposition is called Identities, and they tried to focus on it. And they said beforehand in the audio tour that going to go deeper into the characters of the movies and their identities. And they really don't. They don't give any information at all. Pretty much the only thing that you will find is if you are standing before the mannequin with the original suit that they wear in the movie, with the original costume, there's a tablet where you can scroll and it has like 5 different bars with, what is it that's on there? Kindness, I think, or intelligence, stuff like that. Just stat bars, which are all made up, of course. So that's pretty disappointing. And they also had televisions that showed you videos about pieces or just a general subject of the area you were in. And again, I would have hoped to see behind the scenes stuff. And since it's from the Star Wars vaults, the LucasArts vaults, I would have hoped to see some behind the scenes stuff that you don't see on the Blu-rays and the DVDs. But no, it's basically just some information that has nothing to do with Star Wars. You go into astrology, there's biology, like they are talking about sperm cells and how they impregnate eggs. Like, what has that to do with Star Wars? About research, about parenting, stuff like that. It didn't mesh at all with Star Wars. So I think that was just stupid to include it. I've watched all of it, but I think all of it is skippable. And as I said earlier in the video, you also got an interactive infrared wristband, and that's used for different points throughout the whole exhibition, 10 points, and they say you have to make a choice. So first off, you choose your character, and how you make that choice is you have a wall with all different characters on it, and you use your wristband and you press it against the point on the wall that is underneath that character, and then you hear a beep and that's selected. And basically you have to make choices on tablets where they do multiple choice stuff. But the problem with it, because it says shape your own character, most of it is random. So it's just a spinning wheel and oh, this is your character now. So also that doesn't really mesh well with what you were saying. And so again, that also didn't really mesh well with what they were hoping to do. And after that, last part is the store. So yeah, this is actually a part of the exhibition, because you can get stuff there that you can't get anywhere else, posters and stuff about the exposition. But if I would make a recommendation, is go until the exhibition is a month away from leaving, because the store, some items will be discounted, and one of the items is the exposition catalog, and this contains everything that you can see at the exposition, and it also has all the information that you could get there. It has the exact text, but only in your native language. For me, it's Dutch, so there isn't any English one. So if you are traveling to a neighboring country to see it and you don't speak that language, then you're pretty much out of luck. But it's very cool. And for example, that picture of Lucas spoke about earlier, looking at the sky or looking at Mos Eisley, like it's just in here. So that's pretty cool to just have it completely. And this normally is €20, and now you could get it for 10. So I think that's not a bad price. But talking about price points, entry fee for me was €20, plus €3 administration costs. but I have seen it vary. I've heard that at the O2 Arena, this exposition was £50, so it's a lot higher. I think €20 is around the right price point. I wouldn't have paid much more for it, but I also think it would be a little bit at the cheap side to make it cheaper than that. I think this is what most people will pay for it. But you do have to keep in mind what kind of person you are, especially related to Star Wars, of course. If you don't really care about the information part and you don't want to read the stuff next to the pieces, you have seen everything there is to see within 20 minutes. So it very much depends on what you want to do. I wanted to look at all the details, I wanted to read everything, I wanted to hear everything, I wanted to see every video. I was in there for about 3 hours. So the site says most people are in there for about 1.5 hours. So you really have to think about if that price of admission is worth it to you for just only an hour or so. On the other hand, it isn't much more expensive than going to the cinema. So yeah, it's your choice. But in conclusion, I think it has some really pointless mistakes with interactive stuff, with the biology lessons. But still, it's very cool to see everything, and I certainly had a great time there. So I would recommend going, at least if it's at a normal price and not £50 that I heard from the O2 Arena. So yeah, if it's close to you, give it a try. Let me know what you thought of the exposition. Why do I keep screwing that word up? But anyway, thanks for watching and see you all the next time. Bye! Okay, wait, quick message. I wanted to address one thing. I saw I gained a couple of new subscribers today from the PGS video from Stop, Drop and Retro. I just wanted to say hello and welcome to the channel. At least today, as in the day of recording. And I think you will feel right at home here because I have the same irregular update schedule as Stop, Drop and Retro. So yeah, I have the same problem, but I hope that is the problem. But yeah, thanks for subscribing and have a great day, everyone. Bye.